Well, hello there and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. We've got ourselves yet another Disney Sorcerer's Arena video for you, as it is a beautiful day for some DSA. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about the best, bar none, summonable unit within the game with Frank the Tank's Dwayne Johnson's Proxima, the Jaguar from Jungle Cruise. That is just absolutely insane. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why Proxima is easily S tier in the land of summonable units. Now, early on, summonable units were an interesting thing within DSA. We had kind of Kristoff's trolls that were, they were tanky and they were okay, and that kind of set the bar. And then we kind of moved forward with Ursula's eels, and most recently Esmeralda and Claude Frollo with Jolly and the Archers, really supplying what the true definition of an elite summonable unit is. However, we haven't seen anything quite like Proxima in just the damage that she can pump out and the overall synergy that it shares with the team that it's going to lie with. So with all that being said, we're going to jump into today's video. We're going to go over Proxima's stats, the team that it works well with, and kind of how you can best utilize Proxima to get the most bang from your buck from this crazy cat. But before we jump into today's video, we've got the question of the day, and I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be, what summonable unit would you like to see within the game? Now, myself, I'd like to see the 7 Dwarves maybe kind of be this new summonable unit with Snow White. I think that would work really well without having them all on the battlefield, and each one could maybe do a different effect. But let me know down in the comments below what you think, and let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Alrighty, Cozy Club, well, let's go ahead and cut right to the chase and take a look at Proxima. Now, let's go and just take a look at the overall stats and how Proxima comes to the battlefield. Typically, within games like this, you're going to be seeing these summonable units come via an activated ability, but with Proxima, it's going to be coming in the fashion of Frank's passive. When Frank loses protection, he's going to be able to summon Proxima if she is not already on the field. And with Frank consistently getting protection from his own abilities or when his teammates fall in low health, you're going to be seeing Proxima a lot, dealing great damage and overall just providing a ton of synergy for the adventurer faction. Now let's go ahead, let's jump through the stats and kind of look at the abilities, because the newest releases of these summonable units do have abilities with it. So taking a look here, we're going to go ahead and see maxed out Proxima is going to have 17,411 health. Now, just for an example, that's comparable to pretty much Ursula maxed out in the health that she has. So great, phenomenal health for a summonable unit. And also, you're going to have about half of Frank's total defense with 553 defense on the Jungle Cat. Now, looking at the abilities, you only have 2 with a passive. The basic is going to deal a whopping 3,332 damage, and the special is really where things start to get crazy. Now, you're going to be seeing this basic a ton with Proxima, as you're going to be assisting a ton of your adventurer teammates, and you're going to be just laying down continuous damage. Proxima makes Raja just look like a worthless animal. Looking at Special A, you're going to be able to gain stealth as Proxima with this ability so that even with all that survivability, the enemies won't be able to take you down. You'll also be able to deal up to almost 7,000 damage to a target opponent. Now, this is where things get really juicy, Cozy Club. When Proxima uses this special against anyone with a harmful effect, which nowadays is everyone, you're going to be able to guarantee a critical hit and lay a vulnerable out on that enemy. I've seen, attacks up to 15k, even 20,000 damage from the freaking Jungle Cat here, all with the Special A. And then wrapping up the kit, you've got the passive, which Proxima's passive is going to give it herself a 60% chance to go ahead and assist adventurer teammates. And if this is Frank, you're going to have that be a 100% chance. So you're going to always assist Frank, and it gets out of control. Now that we have covered the stats of Proxima, I want to talk about something pretty important when we're talking about like the elite summonable units within the game, and then we'll kind of do some comparisons and look at some teams here in a bit. Right now, though, with summonable units, the character that summons the unit is easily just as important as the unit itself. Raja, when compared to Proxima, really, it's no match. However, they're about the same as far as defense and some of the health goes. But what I will say is Jasmine obviously can't even hold a candle to Frank, right? I mean, no, not even close. And so we're going to go ahead. Let's jump on over and take a look at the, fan favorite summonable units and compare some of those stats, and then dive into what makes Proxima so dang great. All right, Cozy Club. So here we are. We've got all of the, fan favorite summonable units here and some of the better ones within the game. You've got Jolly that is just absolutely really powerful, actually. Jolly is very strong with some solid health, a little bit less in Proxima, a little bit less defense. Overall, less damage here as well, but same kind of, passive where it's going to assist Hero Kingdom teammates, and it can counterattack when Esmeralda is hit. So Jolly, really great summonable unit. I've had some clutch wins with Jolly, but that's going to be a good comparison when looking at Proxima. You've got the Davy Jones crew that doesn't have near the health nor the damage of Proxima. You've got the archers here with Claude Frollo that they are pretty solid, and you get 3 of them. That can be a blessing or a curse. Pretty solid summonable units. And then you've got these two. Now, the more I look at it, it looks like Proxima and Roger are just the same character model, if we're being honest. They're the same height, too. But Jasmine just doesn't hold a candle to the rock. But on top of that, Jasmine, the Raja is going to have some good health at 17,000 and great defense, too, with some solid, overall basic. Raja's just going to die. It's like the opposite of Proxima. Raja gets a taunt and wants to get attacked. And so it's going to be useless pretty quickly, whereas Proxima wants to go into stealth and really just provide some really heavy sustainability and damage for your team with 17,000 health, like we talked about, and solid attack. Now, the passive right now is bugged. Proxima is going to be assisting on every single character. It's going to assist on Cauldrons. It's going to assist on Adventurers, obviously. And then with Frank, it'll be assisting each and every time, 100% guaranteed, which is what we're going to be abusing this team with. We're going to be kind of theory crafting and making some of the best teams for Proxima. But later on, I will talk about later in a video why I think the Adventurers are so great. And a lot of that is there's so many layers to this team. If you take down Raya, who in my opinion is one of the best characters in the game at the moment, and all of the damage, you then have to deal with someone like Moana or whoever this next spot is. But in addition to all of this, you have Proxima with these big, heavy single target damage dealers. You have Raja calling people to assist, or Raja's on the mind. Raya calling people to assist, and for big damage, which will always be Moana. You're going to have Proxima assist. But let's talk about how you really turn this team up, crank it up to 11. And that is going to be with Peter Pan's Shadow. Now, I've done some theory crafting. I've seen nothing like this out there yet. Proxima and Frank are a match made in heaven. We know that. But Frank the Tank is by far one of the best, right up there with Hercules, shadowed units within the game. Shadowing Frank is going to make Proxima attack all of the time. You've got protects and undefeatables and big time damage dealing with the basics. We covered that on the last video. But you're going to be having Frank over and over call Proxima for giant damage, getting the jungle cat, just overwhelming the opponent. But then how can we even juice this up? Because you've got this character, as you guys can see from these highlight reels, this character that's just laying out heaps and heaps of damage. But we've got ourselves a few teams, but I want to talk about, in my opinion, one of the most kind of underrated or consistently underrated characters in the game, and it's going to be Maurice. Now, I'm going to be testing this a lot on my stream, so if you haven't already, join me on Twitch, guys. The link's in the description below. You guys can follow to know when I go live. And also, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Cozy Club, shameless plug, but Maurice is going to be kind of the summon master. His leadership is going to be giving big time offense and speed, which would make Proxima better. There's better leadership, so we're not going to use that. I've tested it. It works, but not in like the top ladders. But what we'll be focusing on is fixed up in no time. Now, guys, we're still theory crafting what teams are going to work well with this the best. But for example, I've got a Hero Hamada lead team that works really well. And what this is going to do is if you use this on a summoned ally, you're going to spawn an exact copy of it with full health. And then you're going to be giving Maurice some magic. And why this works so great is it's not like a Shadow. You're going to get that full stat carryover with 2 Proximas on the field, with the crit up on both. The crit damage that you're going to get from Proxima is great. You're going to have the passives and the specs the same. And on top of all of that, you're going to be having these jungle cats assisting all of the time. As you guys can see here, you're going to just have loads and loads of Proxima assists that really start to stack up. Now, the reason I have it under a hero lead is you can go ahead. He's tech. He's going to get a little bit of speed from that, but you can upgrade Frank. You want Proxima on the field as fast as possible. You're going to go and use the backside of water. You're going to get the protect on Frank. He'll lose it. He'll get Proxima out. And then you're going to hammer up Proxima for some great, insane synergy, guys. It's once you've got that second Proxima on the field, you can call to assist on every Frank basic, on every Maurice basic, on any other adventurer basic for the most part. And Proxima just takes over the battlefield. It's bonkers. It's truly bonkers what it can do. And I'm just excited because now that I've got this out here to you guys, let me know too. Put it in the comments below or come join me on Twitch. Let's theorycraft what team can we abuse Proxima the most and really make it one of the craziest characters within the game. Maurice is great, obviously, as you know, but you can run this with just about any other team in its place and still get some really great results, obviously plugging in some of the better characters. But even if you just got Lily and Frank and didn't get the rest of these, you can plug in some of these other characters that have been around a while and have a pretty successful team under that Frank leadership that's going to really boost up. With all of those crits that you're getting from Proxima, you're going to be reducing and stealing that turn meter, giving it to yourself. This is what makes this thing so great. The damage, the assisting, the overall crazy passive that it has, and then the strong special that you can pull out, putting more and more vulnerables on the field. Also talking about Maurice being the underrated superstar, the return of Bucket of Soldiers is enough to make your enemies scream. You're able to shadow Lily and Frank with all of these undefeatables and protects and evasions, and it just really starts to stack up. Then you have Maurice to go ahead and either copy Proxima or Bucket of Soldiers. And guys, this is a Cozy certified favorite. This is going to be hilarious to run again and again on your enemies. And I'm only going to keep testing on stream until I can perfect this team. So Cozy Club, in a nutshell, you want to go ahead, shadow up Frank as much as possible, build up those protects on the field, have Proxima over and over just assist the Franks and the Maurice and the other adventurer characters and deal out some massive damage, always saving that spec for a harmful effect to deal the max amount of damage, get that stealth on, protect Proxima, and just keep on rolling. You know, Proxima's going to take some of the hits from Hercules, but she's also going to be dealing some of the most damage on your team consistently over and over. So without a doubt, that is why Proxima is one of the best characters within the game as far as this summonable units go, and really set the bar to what I expect for future summonable units within the game. Let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, and let me know if Proxima should just be the beginning of these elite summonable units so that we have more fun with characters like Maurice and really get that lead rocking and rolling. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by the Cozy Club. If you want to see more DSA videos, go ahead and hit subscribe now. It helps out a ton. And you can hit the notification bell. There's so many of you guys not subscribed, and it would help a bunch on the channel. My friends, until next time, we've got DSA videos coming all week. Stay cozy.